The growing controversy over whether the CIA lied to Congress is the subject of our face-off debate tonight. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Darrell Issa. He's the ranking member on the Judiciary Committee in the House. He has just requested that the FBI conduct an investigation of Speaker Pelosi's claim that the CIA misled her. Also, Democratic Congressman Adam Smith, who serves on the Intelligence Committee, who is among 7 House Democrats who say CIA Director Leon Panetta misled them and who has requested that he recant that statement. We appreciate you gentlemen being with us. Let me remind everyone watching as to how the incipient point here. It begins with Speaker Nancy Pelosi and what she had to say about harsh interrogation techniques, or what some call waterboarding torture.
I was not briefed that. I was only informed that they were briefed, but I did not get the briefing.
Thank you.
Well, we'll find out. They mislead us all the time.
Well, then CIA Director Panetta fired back in a letter to the CIA personnel saying, let me be clear, it is not our policy or practice to mislead Congress. That is against our laws and our values. Let me ask you both. First, if I may, Congressman Issa, do you believe the CIA did mislead Speaker Pelosi?
No, I don't. I think that Porter Goss, who has said he was briefed in real time and continuously briefed, is probably more accurate in the memory. More importantly, when Speaker Pelosi says they mislead us all the time, I think that the FBI and other organizations need to investigate, because all the time implies multiple felonies, and that's what we've been trying to get cut through, is if it's all the time, every one of them is a crime, let's get it done. And I think that's where Speaker Pelosi crossed the line. Not that she didn't remember being briefed, which none of us can know, but the idea that she would just blithely say that the CIA lies to us all the time, that's demoralizing for the premier intelligence agency.
Congressman Smith, let's, as one of 7 Democratic members to write that letter to Director Panetta, asking him to correct his statement on misleading Congress. Let me just share with our audience part of what you wrote in that letter. Recently, you testified that you've determined top CIA officials have concealed significant actions from all members of Congress and misled members for a number of years from 2001 to this week. This is similar to other deceptions of which we are aware from recent periods. And asking him to correct his statement, has there been a response from the CIA director? Is there anything that you, I mean, are you, specifically, is there a CIA program about which you have not been informed and which directly contravenes Director Panetta's statement?
Well, the director did testify before us and tell us he just discovered it as director, and within 24 hours of him discovering it, he came and testified and said that the CIA wrongly did not tell us about this. There were questions during the course of this program in which some people who testified clearly did mislead us. Look, this isn't really about Nancy Pelosi. As a member of the Intelligence Committee, what I am concerned about is I want to make sure that the CIA is open and honest with us. And clearly, members, Republican and Democrats alike, have complained that they have not been, not just the CIA, but other aspects of the intelligence community. It's not just it's our duty and our right and our responsibility as members of Congress to insist that the CIA is open and honest with us. And clearly, they have not been, not just in the last 8 years, but going back 30, 40 years. It's an ongoing battle for members of the intelligence community to make sure that we get that type of open honesty. And that is what I, at least, am striving to get.
Congressman Issa, you're shaking your head.
Well, I am for a number of reasons. And as you know, I served, before I became ranking member of Government Oversight and Reform, I served on the Intelligence Committee. And I will tell you that multiple hours every day, plus weekends and breaks, I went all over the world to get briefings, to get information, and I only got a tip of the iceberg. One of the problems is none of us can get all the information in the time that we can possibly contribute.
That's absolutely true, but that's not what I'm talking about. But that is clearly true.
More importantly, you know, by definition, every briefing is highly compartmented. Certain people have to be in the room, out of the room, in the way of our staff. So I think that if we want to have an investigation on specifics, on a specific failure, a criminal investigation, I look forward to it. I want to see it. What I'm concerned about is the Speaker. It is about the Speaker. It is about a vague statement that they lie to us all the time, not that there was a program from 2001 that was never briefed to the Congress. And by the way, the program never became active. It never actually functioned, and it's been shut down. And now we're being told there was a program that never happened that, in fact, we weren't told about.
One thing is absolutely
there were
clear.
hundreds or thousands of programs
Darrell,
that were never told to us.
Look,
that happened.
That is the Director of Central Intelligence, Leon Panetta, told us that it was improper and a mistake by his agency to not have informed us about this program. It is not in dispute that the CIA did not tell us about something that they should have told us about. And this is not the only incident. So all I'm trying to do, Darrell, all I'm trying to do, again, you talk about what happened with Speaker Pelosi. I don't know what happened with Speaker Pelosi.
None of us do.
There was only a couple of people. Exactly. It wasn't even recorded in a timely manner. There's no way to figure that out. What I am focused on, and we keep bringing it back to Speaker Pelosi, that's not what I am focused on. What I'm focused on is the fact I've only been on the Intel Committee for 6 months. Already there have been 2 incidents when the intelligence community came to us and said, we're sorry, we should have told you about this, and we didn't.
Okay.
I want to improve
turn
that record.
If I may, gentlemen.
Sure.
You're both members of an institution that has historically low regard in every poll of the American people. You are, Congressman Smith, in this letter, taking on a former Democratic congressman who is now,
we are,
if I may,
sure,
who is now the director of the CIA, who is the man who revealed to you whatever it is that you can't share with us because we're not on the Intelligence Committee. And it seems punitive to him. It seems
well, let me make one critical point.
If I may just frame the question, Congressman. What in the world do you accomplish by having Leon Panetta sort of dragged out in public?
Well, one of my critical points here is the letter that I signed was sent in secret to Director Panetta, and my intent was to point out to him the inconsistency in the action that he took in saying, we don't lie to Congress, we don't mislead Congress.
Do you think he was unaware of that consistency? I'm just curious.
And, well, I mean, he did it and testified it. I wanted to highlight this issue. Right. It was never my intention.
Who leaked the letter?
It was never my intention that this letter become public. I've heard like 3 or 4 different answers to that question, so I don't know for sure. I'm simply trying to deal with a policy issue to make sure that Congress is informed. I'm not trying to get into this big public spat.
Do you want hearings?
In the Intelligence Committee, absolutely we should have hearings, yes.
And those hearings would extend to the Speaker's testimony, would extend to whatever has been withheld from the oversight committees of Congress.
Absolutely.
And,
Lou,
Congressman
I
Issa,
want hearings, but more importantly, I want anyone who lied to Congress brought on charges and punished, so those who did not do anything wrong can be vindicated. That's what we're asking for. More importantly, right now, the bill coming up tonight is about whether or not we get to have the information at the HPSI or only at the Gang of 8, and it's equally important.
We're out of time. We thank you both for your time and trying to add some light to this issue. Congressman Smith, thank you very much. Congressman Issa. Still ahead here tonight, views from coast to coast on this economy. Do we need a second stimulus package? Is it a little early to determine whether it's succeeded or failing? That is the first one.